It's on and popping, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up? It is Wednesday, May the 5th. Excuse me, May the 7th, 2025. It's 1:41 out here on the West Coast. And what's going on with you guys? Happy and blessed Wednesday to you. All right. And I hope your day is going wonderful. All right. All right. So today is day number 3 of Diddy's Jury Selection. All right. So we are going to recap that. Y'all, this picture they got on TMZ of Diddy looks a hot ass mess. Let me start this live off by showing you guys this picture. Maybe you guys can get a laugh or something. I don't know. So I may even find this attractive. I don't know. You looking sexy, y'all. But anyway, that's a picture that TMZ got up there. Let's give credit where it goes. TMZ, all right? All right, so he looks tripped out in that picture, y'all. I'm not going to lie. He really does. The hell, but that's a good picture, to use. Maybe he was looking like that. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It looks tripped out. So it is what it is. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and do that copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area. It will be in my comment area. And part of it is going across that banner right there. Okay. That screen right there. All right. So guys, let me ask you, if you enjoyed this content today, could you please thumbs it up? If you are not subscribed, please subscribe below and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you share and leave a comment as well. Welcome to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watches this in the replay. Over here in the chat, we got Jermaine in the place to be. Jermaine, what's up? What's up? How you doing today? And thank you for being here. Jermaine said, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Your support means the world. If you want to take it a step further, donate via a super chat, super sticker, or cash app at $ShadesTube. And don't forget, you guys, to cop yourself a membership for $4.99. All right. Thank you guys so much. Oh, he said, but don't forget, donating is more than just viewing. Your donations help cover the expenses of producing these shows, so we can keep giving you guys this high quality content. All right. If I said that correctly. Okay. No speaking shades too. But anyway, it is what it is. All right. But today, like I said, we're going to go talk about day 3 of Diddy's Jury Selection. All right. Let's turn that music up a little bit. Y'all know I got to have music in the background because my ass be getting like kind of nervous up here. That's why sometimes I'll make these bloopers. So let me turn it up just a little bit. You guys, I don't think you hear this music, but I can. So it acts as a filler for me. Okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and start this off. Let's see. Okay, so first thing first, guys. Today is Diddy's. It was Diddy's 3rd day of jury selection. All right. So this is what happened. So Diddy's 3rd day of jury selection featured a couple of people with close ties to the case. Now, this, despite the judge's direction to both sides to better vet prospective jurors. And I don't know how they keep on coming up with these people who, got close ties to the case or some other weird shit. Anyway, they are still working to put together the 45-person jury pool. And it seems they weren't vetted with a fine-tooth comb, according to TMZ. All right. So let's go up. So now, juror 317 took the stand, which got Judge Aaron Submarinian laughing. He started laughing immediately. And this is the judge right here, in case y'all don't know what he looks like. He started laughing, you guys. And I can't wait to find out why. Because, these people in this damn jury, these jurors are a hot ass mess. So, you know why he started laughing? Because him and the man used to work on anti-class action cases together. So who in the heck What type of vetting is this when they keep on getting these people up here who are closely related to this case, or they work with people, or they, publish some stuff, or they work for a publishing company, or they was involved in domestic violence, or they got family members in law enforcement, just all types of weird shit, or they smoking weed, just some weird people. You know what I'm saying? Who picked these people? And I see why he started laughing, because like I just said, the man used to work with him. Okay, on an anti-class action case. That's crazy. Now, this juror, a lawyer, also admitted the case might make it difficult for him to represent his own client over the coming weeks. So he was dismissed. I mean, I don't even know why they would call. Why they would call a lawyer to be on the stand. It's kind of weird. And I see why he started laughing. Damn, I'm tripping out so much. Damn, I'm reading this stuff and stumbling over words because I can't believe what I'm reading. Okay, so Judge Aaron wasn't laughing when another possible juror came up and said he actually works at MDC Brooklyn, the jail. You guys, I can't read this seriously. Let me take this gum out and hopefully I don't bite my what. Okay. What the heck? So you mean to tell me another juror came up and he actually works at the jail where Diddy is living right now? I need to put my laughing thing on. This is a hot ass mess, you guys. I mean, let me laugh for you. It's crazy, man. Okay. So anyway, people in the courtroom laugh. I mean, because I would have too, because it's crazy. And of course, this man was dismissed. So Judge Aaron, okay, he chastised the attorneys on both sides, telling them they needed to do a better job filtering candidates to make the process more efficient. You're right, Jermaine. This is definitely a clown show. I mean, damn, come on now. You guys are getting people who used to work with this judge, okay, on cases. You are getting people who work inside of the jail where Sean is. They had a lady or a man who was actually dealing with the publishing company or worked for the publishing company who put that documentary out. That's crazy. Hey, Mo Sada, thank you so much for tuning in. This is crazy, you guys. They had a guy who claimed he smoked weed and he could possibly stop. Then he said, no, he can't, Then you had another person with relatives that are police officers and things like that. And she had to be dismissed, or he. I mean, just a lot of weird shit. And you would think, I said this the other day, you would think they would vet these people better so they won't pick people who are closely related to the case or work with any of these people, lawyers, people who are on drugs or anything else. You know what I'm saying? This is weird. Now, they said, as always, the jury selection brought out a character or two as well, like Juror 314, who said, check this out. He's been binge watching the second season of Andor recently and labeled himself as lazy. But anyway, they did not dismiss him. So if he's lazy, what does that mean? What does that mean? Is he going to be lazy in regards to this case? I mean, it's crazy. It's definitely going down, Bronze, and it is a clown show. Okay, let's see here. So they said, by the way, Diddy's, I guess they mean Diddy. Diddy clearly got a routine when he entered the courthouse. He was wearing a similar clothes to what he had on the first couple of days of jury selection. And he started hugging almost every member of the team. Okay, so that's what he did when he came in. So as we remember, I think one day he had on a Navy shirt, right? And then yesterday, I don't remember what he had on. Okay, so he had on similar clothing. Okay. Anyway, they said this first round of jury selection is done. And they said, by the way, in the 45 members of the pool have been chosen, though it should be narrowed down to about 12 jurors and 6 alternates by Friday. So the court won't be in session on Thursday, which is tomorrow. So I guess on Friday, that's when they will have the 12 people and the 6 alternates. Tomorrow is what? Today is Wednesday, right? So tomorrow's Thursday. Okay. So opening arguments begin Monday, and the defense already knows the first 3 witnesses the prosecution will call. Let's see if we can guess the first 3. So we know one is Cassie, right? So one is Cassie. Number 2 is who? Probably Dawn Richards. I don't know. Number 3 is who? Maybe Little Rod. I don't know. Who do you guys think? We know one is Cassie. Maybe. Okay. So the second one is that lady that claimed that he made her get a medical procedure if they can contact her, because they haven't got in contact with her so far, or either she can't get there. So she may be one later on in the future. Okay. So I'm thinking that Cassie, Little Rod, like Jermaine, and then who is the third person? Probably Dawn Richards, from Danny T. Kane, or another employee, probably, Yes, Diddy's chief of staff. You're right. So Jermaine said Cassie, Little Rod, and Diddy's chief of staff. That may be right, Jermaine. Okay, but I bet you Dawn is going to be up there somewhere. Probably not the first 3, but she will be. And then that other lady who said that, who claimed he made her get a medical procedure, a surgical procedure, or something like that. And we did talk about her case. We sure did. I just don't remember exactly what type of medical procedure she got. Okay. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, hold on. What did I leave off at? Hold on, y'all. Let me see, where did I leave off at? So, okay, I told you guys about the man who said he was lazy. Okay, so then they said juror 2020 admitted to reposting a meme about Diddy, and when asked why he did not disclose it, he responded that he was doom scrolling. And that's the act of scrolling through content on social media without putting much thought into it. He had to explain the term to the judge, but he was ultimately kept in the jury pool. He was looking at them damn that stuff. Okay. And then let's see here. Okay, so we read all of that right there. I just skipped over that part right there. They got Diddy looking tripped out though in this picture. Looks a hot ass mess. So that was some of the things that happened in that courtroom today, day 3 of jury selection. Let's see what else we got here, which is crazy. Okay. So remember, tomorrow they won't be doing anything. So they'll come back on Friday, and on Friday they will narrow everything down to 12 people in the jury. Okay, and then 6 alternates who will take the place of any one of them if one gets sick or some other reason why they have to, pull out. I guess that's the people who they have on standby. Like when I was on standby and I kept on calling every day to see if I had to come in. I was so glad, I was so glad. That's her name, Christina. So yes, she might be one of the people that's up there. She may be testifying. Yeah. So they're just basically going over the same thing, telling us that Diddy got great hair and we do not care. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what else they got here. Because we already know his hair is gray. You can't really, I guess some people do dye their hair in jail. I don't know. But yeah, it's to be expected that his hair would be gray and he will probably look older. And let's do some trivial, not trivial. Let's do some, let's see what they're talking about right here. Hold on. Okay, let's see. So let's recap some things. Okay, so as we know, Diddy is facing a 5-count indictment, accusing him of trafficking, transportation to engage in the P word, ladies of the night or whatever y'all call them, and racketeering conspiracy. Y'all know he was arrested in September 2024. And don't forget, back in November 2023, Cassie kicked everything off, with her lawsuit. Now, let's see. Now, they allege that Combs and his associates threatened, abused, and coerced victims to fulfill Combs' actual desires. And this included freak-offs, which are recorded X performances that prosecutors say Diddy arranged and forced victims to participate in. So as you guys know, they searched his 2 homes in LA and they found narcotics in 1,000 bottles of lubricant in baby oil. So in March, 2 superseding indictments against Sean Combs were added. Fresh allegations of forced labor, which we talked about. And then in April, an additional charge of trafficking in transportation to engage in the P word, which we talked about that. And of course, Diddy has denied any accusations of wrongdoing and has rejected the government's plea deal offer, as we already know. And we don't know what that plea deal contained, even though on social media, some people claim it said that he could get 5 years. So I don't know if this is true, okay? Allegedly, that's what they claim, okay? Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, let's see. So as we said, it's going to be 12 jurors and 6 alternates. Okay, Judge Aaron Submaranian asked for 45 would-be jurors from whom the final panel is chosen. Now, on Friday morning, lawyers will use preemptory challenges to strike off jurors they do not want at the trial. And then they're going to narrow that number down. And then opening statements are set for May the 12th. So let's see what that word means, preemptory. Let's see what that means real quick. Okay, that means leaving no room for denial or refusal. This is going to be their final choice. Okay, there you go. Another word that was up there that I had up there first in the title was, how is it called? Admonish, I believe. So I looked it up, and that word simply means, I took it out because I like to use simple stuff. I took it out because it actually means just to warn. The judge, Diddy's judge, warned lawyer Mark G for racial remarks. And we're going to go over that as well, okay? So as we already know, Diddy was arrested last September 2024. We're not going to go back over that again. We already went over it. I think we covered that. Okay. So let's see. They also named Isabel King. No, excuse me, I'm sorry. Isabel King took a look at who was mentioned, the celebs that was mentioned. We already went over that already. I guess I can say it again if I can find it down here. Let's see if I can remember. So I think one person they mentioned is, what's that dude's name? God, I forgot these people's names already. Jermaine, if you remember, put them in the chat because I forgot. This dude's name is right on the tip of my tongue. I cannot remember his name. Michael, what's his name? Do you remember the people they named? That they was asking these people, these potential jurors, if they knew these people and they knew who they were. There was a bunch of different little stars and stuff, but it doesn't mean that they was involved in anything illegal. They could have been at the parties. I know they had one named Michelle Williams, and I know good and damn well she is not involved in nothing weird. Then Mike Myers, I don't think he was either, okay? And then Kid Cudi, all right, he was obviously the one where his car was blowing up, I believe. Kanye West, and as crazy as Kanye West is, I just don't see him doing no weird stuff like that. Okay, I see him going off. And then, yes, Michael B. Jordan, that's who I was trying to think of. So I don't really see these people doing anything weird, even though I don't know them personally. But I certainly don't see Michelle Williams doing anything crazy, okay? So I'm just guessing that Michelle probably went to that all-white party with her group, Destiny Child, and that's why her name was there, or some other function. And we already told about Mike Myers was at some type of function that Diddy hosted or something, and then Michael B. Jordan the same. And then Kanye West probably went to the all-white party. Then Kid Cudi is the person they was talking about I think his car was blown up or something like that. So, those names, some of those names are not even, involved in anything illegal. They just was, around him at one point or another. All right. So Combs do have 7 defense attorneys, and I'll go over those in a minute. All right. Let's see what else. And that's it so far, from this right here, they're just going over everything. So they did say Diddy's team gets 10 juror strikes and prosecution gets 6. So they said Diddy's defense team gets 10 preemptory strikes. And we just looked up what that means, to remove jurors. They do not want to hear the case against their client without giving cause. Okay. Now the prosecution gets 6 preemptory strikes. After those have been used up, each side will get 3 strikes, each to establish the 6 alternates. And that will take place on Friday morning at 9. Okay, and tomorrow, like I said, court will be dark, closed. All right. And as we know, these are the things we won't hear at the trial. They said since 2023, dozens of women and men have been filing lawsuits against Combs, claiming that he actually or physically abused them. Many of those people said they were slipped, at events, DRUGS, hosted by Combs, and they were abused while they were incapacitated. And did I say that right? Capitated. I think that's right. I don't know. Combs has denied all of the allegations through his lawyers. Some of those lawsuits have claimed that other celebs were either present for or participating in the abuse. Okay, now the great majority of those allegations, however, are not part of the criminal case. So they said a great deal. They didn't say all. Okay. Prosecutors have chosen to focus on a relatively small number of accusers in allegations where there is physical evidence or cooperation by witnesses. All right. So let's see. We already know one witness is Cassie. They keep on talking about her over and over again. They keep on saying who are the witnesses, but the only witness they are naming, because this is the only one they probably know, it's Cassie. Clearly because of that video of Sean Combs, using domestic violence against her. Okay. So let's say they said Diddy's attorneys are expected to argue at trial that the government is demonizing and distorting the actual activity of consenting adults. They have also argued that 2 of Combs' longtime girlfriends willingly brought a male ex-worker into their relationship. Is he talking about Kim and maybe Cassie? I don't know. Anyway, let's see here. And I already told you that Cassie's lawsuit in 2023 started all of this. Okay. Now the Associated Press, who I am getting this information from, said they do not typically name people who say they have been actually abused unless they come forward as Cassie did. Okay. So that's the reason why they are naming Cassie. The other witnesses they do not have up here. I don't know if they know or not, but the only one that's up here because she did come forward is Cassie. Okay. And I guess starting next week, we will see who some of the other people are who will be testifying against Sean Combs. All right. So as you see in that title up there, Judge Aaron, and we talked about it yesterday. Let me take the stuff up here. When I told you what the dude said, I don't even know if I played the video. I cannot remember. I think I did. If not, I know I read it. So anyway, Judge Aaron, who is overseeing Sean Diddy's Combs ex-trafficking trial, he admonished a lawyer close to the hip-hop mogul's defense team for referring to the prosecutors in the case as a 6-pack of white women. And those were the comments that he made on a podcast. And I think I told you guys about the podcast. I don't know if I played it. If it wasn't on TikTok, I probably did. So, but I did tell you about it where he said that. So anyway, Judge Aaron called it racial. All right. So let's look at something else real quick. So if that's racial, why aren't more people making a big deal out of this woman who called that little kid a racial slur? You see what I'm saying? Okay. Because these are grown people right here. He just said 6-pack of white women. All right. Anyway, the lawyer Mark G remarked in a May 2nd episode of Two Angry Men, a podcast he co-hosts with Harvey Levin, the founder of celebrity news website TMZ, that the racial and gender composition of the 6-member prosecuting team was interesting. He also acknowledged that race may be an undercurrent at the trial, but emphasized that it would not be a focus of Combs' defense. And so Judge Aaron said, that's something that that no one should be saying as an officer of the court and a member of the bar. And he told attorney Mark G in a private conversation in his robing room on Tuesday before jury selection resumed, according to a trial transcript. Now, referring to the prosecution in this case as a 6-pack of white women is outrageous. And Judge Aaron is of South Asian descent. Now, Combs, who is Black, has pleaded not guilty to a 5-count indictment charge, charging him with racketeering conspiracy, trafficking, and transportation to engage in the P word. And like I said 100 times, jury selection is expected to finish on Friday with opening statements scheduled for Monday. And as we already know, for the 1 billionth time, prosecutors from the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office allege that Combs used his business empire to coerce women into participating in days-long drug-free X parties known as freak-offs. His defense will argue that the X acts described by the prosecutors were consensual and that the alleged victims expected to testify against him cannot be trusted. Wow. I hope they show, honestly, I hope that Sean Combs' defense team can show that these people cannot be trusted. I'm pretty sure they will be. Okay. Now, Combs' lawyers have argued in court documents that he is being unfairly targeted for prosecution because of his race, but they will not make that argument at the trial because, everybody used that. So Mark G, who is white, attorney Mark G, who is white, is a well-known Los Angeles-based lawyer who has represented President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, as well as Lau and Eric Menendez, 2 brothers convicted of unaliving their parents in 1989. All right. Now, he is not representing Combs in the criminal case, but his daughter is. Okay, Tini, if that's how you pronounce her name, or Tinaya, however you pronounce it. Okay, but told Submarinian he speaks with the rapper frequently and represents his mother in a matter, which he did not describe in detail. Okay, so as I just said, Mark G's daughter is Tini G, who is one of Combs' defense lawyers at the trial. All right. So this is the only thing they know about that plea deal that Diddy rejected. Okay, so let's see here. So the only thing they know, hold on, let me make sure. The only thing they know is this is what I've been saying all this time, and we already know. Okay, last Thursday, standing before a judge in his final pretrial hearing, Combs said he rejected the government's offer to plead guilty to charges in exchange for a lesser sentence. So basically, he wasn't going to accept saying that he's guilty to get a lesser sentence. So clearly, his defense team must have some information that shows that he did not do these things, that these people were willing participants, and they knew what was going to happen. So, because I don't see no other reason why he, wouldn't, accept a plea deal. So I think they may have a lot of information. So we will see. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to this next one over here. And that information came from the Independent Room. No, not Independent Room, but Independent. Let's see. The Independent, I guess. Yeah, independent.com. Okay. And the other one came from TMZ. All right. Okay, let's go over here and look at the other stuff that we have about this. Okay, so let's talk about. Hold on, let me see. So we already went over that. So let's talk about Diddy's lawyers real quick, so y'all can know who they are. So as we know, Diddy has a team of experienced lawyers. Okay, they are very good. So let's see. So the latest lawyer to join Sean Combs' team is Nicole Westmoreland of Westmoreland Law LLC. And she filed a notice of attorney appearance with the court on May the 6th. Okay, let's go ahead and read these comments real quick for a minute. So you said, I feel like it was a pop culture litmus test, just to see how familiar they are with it. Right. Okay, now Combs' defense team was already led by attorneys Mark Agnafilo and Tinny G. Okay, Agnafilo is a founding partner of Agnafilo Intrator, and according to the firm's website, has tried more than 200 cases in his 30-year career. He is a former Manhattan Assistant District Attorney. He is also a founding partner at, hold on. Let me make sure I read it. No. So Tinny is also a founding partner at Agnafilo Intrator and is particularly experienced in defending and investigating allegations of actual misconduct. Okay. So I wish they would show a picture of all of them. I mean, they do have them, but it's not here. The next one is Brian Steele, who represented Young Thug in the rapper's RICO trial. And then Alexandra Shapiro as well. Shapiro is a trial lawyer who began her career as a clerk for Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Okay, so let's see who else. And then I guess they have criminal defense lawyer Xavier R. Donaldson. Okay, he is a former assistant district attorney for the Bronx County DA's office. Okay, another one is Anna Marie Estabo, who is a partner at Share Tremonte, and then Jason Driscoll, who joined Shapiro Arato Bach in 2023. And if I mispronounced those words, sorry, you guys. Okay, let's see what else. And then I guess Anthony Rico, he quit the case. Y'all remember him because he told the judge that this decision came after a discussion with Agnafilo. Okay, so he stopped. So this is Mark right here, Mark Agnafilo right here. We already seen Judge Aaron, Submarinian. I don't think they got the pictures on everybody else, so you guys gonna have to go Google that yourself if you want to know who they are. I would like to know who Tinny is, though, or Tina, how you actually pronounce her name and stuff. Maybe I'll look her up in a minute. So those are all the lawyers. So he has a good team of lawyers, guys. So like I said, Smokey Robinson, man, as I said, you know, I hope they have, you know, all of the evidence they need to support what they claim, you know, is true, that these people willingly participated in all these weird activities with Sean Combs, you know, because I don't see why he would turn down a plea deal if he didn't think that he was innocent or know he's innocent, and if he did not have, some proof to prove this. I just don't see it. I mean, because if he did turn it down, he does not have proof. That would be stupid. Y'all remember ASAP Rocky? He turned his down because he knew. Okay, so I'm just thinking maybe Sean Combs knows some things that we don't. Maybe people are wrong. You just never know. Maybe it's not right. Maybe some these people did, willingly participate. I don't know. The one thing that I do know is that he beat the shit out of Cassie. So I do know that because we see physical proof of that. All right. I mean, physical proof right there in the video. You know what I'm saying? So if there's physical proof in the video, that speaks for itself. But as far as all these other people and things, that has to be proven for real, for real. And if he has any information that disprove what they say, some of these charges probably won't stick, if any, besides the ones involving, however they rigged that up, that involves Cassie. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. I think that's it. So let's look at a couple of these TikTok videos, and then that will be it with Sean Combs, you guys. Let's go ahead and look at this. Let me turn this music off real quick. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this real quick. Present, share screen, and let's look at this. Hold on, y'all. Hold on for 1 second. Let me do this real quick. This damn thing is always doing this crazy stuff. Let's see if that comes back up. I'm trying to look at my screen at the same time, okay? So let me see who I want to listen to talk about this. I don't see that dude. Is this him right here? No, that's a day ago. I don't know why he don't have any updates. I couldn't find that lady again. Is this her? No, I need one that's current, okay? Let's watch him, see if he can speak with some intelligence. Let's see.
So I'm just leaving federal court on a very
I don't know why this damn thing always does this.
So I'm just leaving federal court on a very
jury selection is still going on in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. A couple of things that stood out for me. One, the mere fact that you see or hear celebrity names does not mean that that person will be called. Judge or prosecutors, defense attorneys will very often give a list of potential witnesses or people whose names you will hear just to see if it will affect the juror's ability to be fair and impartial. Two, at this point, they're trying to see if they can qualify at least 45 jurors. If a juror cannot be qualified, meaning that they can't sit for this length of time or for whatever reason they can't be fair or impartial, they are excused for cause. On Friday, when they have about 45 jurors who have been qualified, then attorneys will exercise what's called a peremptory challenge. Peremptory means you can get rid of a juror for any reason as long as it's not based on race, sex, gender, or religious reasons.
Well,
jury selection is still going.
I just learned how to say that word. So thank you so much. I wonder if he's a lawyer or something. Oh yeah, he is. Okay, so yeah. So he just said what he just said is the 100% truth. He just told you guys how to pronounce that word, even though I still can't pronounce it. And he just told you exactly what's going to be happening. And I guess that's Sean Combs in court right there. He got on blue. I don't know if that's from today or the other day because he had on blue the other day as well. Let me see what else this guy said. So he's from the Corbett Law Firm. And I like listening to people who are lawyers because they definitely know what they're talking about. So let's see what else he's saying here. So let's look at this one where he's talking to.
The trial for Sean Diddy Combs begins today with jury selection. Opening statements are scheduled to begin next Monday on May 12th. Jury selection is always important. In fact, it can be considered one of the most important aspects of a trial. The key takeaway for this trial, as well as for every trial, is that they're going to try to find a fair and impartial juror, meaning we all come with some type of bias. The question is going to be, will those biases keep them from giving a fair and impartial trial?
Okay, good thing.
The trial for Sean
explain some little things.
Jury selection is still going on in the
okay,
Sean
so
Diddy.
Let's see if we got anything else up here that he's talking about. That's something else. Okay, so yeah. So he only got those two up there, okay, that we just saw. All right, so that's pretty good. I like the way he I wish he would have went into more details. But
Jury selection is still going on.
Let me go back a little bit and see what else they got here. So let's see what she's talking about, okay?
In this case, the defense really wants to get into a lot of intimate personal questions and try and find jurors who are not going to convict based on the fact that they're going to be exposed to a lot of sexual themes and evidence that shows sex parties, multiple partners for one person. They want jurors who are able to put that aside and just listen to the law and make a decision on the facts and the evidence. But this is a case where certainly your jurors matter. In this case, the defense really wants to get into a lot of intimate personal questions.
Okay, let's
try and find jurors who
can y'all imagine being in that that courtroom and they're talking about all this weird sexual stuff? I know I would have to definitely refrain from laughing. Okay, I would have to play it off because I know there's gonna be some tripped out stuff stated in it about all of the day going freak offs, you know, also known as ORGIES, about all that, if I spelled that correctly. You know, it's gonna be some tripped out stuff being said out there. That is crazy. Let's see what else we got here. And I can't wait till it start so I can see everything they say. Because it's gonna, I'm gonna be laughing for one thing. All this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what else we got going on here. Not with her, because she's looking tripped out. Let's see. So let's see what she's saying.
Hey everybody, I have been in the Sean Combs jury selection portion of the trial. I just came out of the courthouse because I'm not allowed to record inside. I was in the courtroom with Mr. Combs, about a dozen attorneys, court staff, of course the judge, and jurors coming in one by one, asked some personal questions about whether they have any experience with sexual assault or domestic violence, whether they have read about the case, seen videos involved in the case. And in my opinion, they're answering the questions as honestly as they can. When probed, some of them say, yeah, you know, I don't think I can be fair in this case. I think the rich get away with too much in our culture. One juror said that. Others said, even though I've seen the video and I don't like it, I think I can put it aside. One woman is a civil attorney like me, but it wasn't me, who said she feels a deep ethical obligation to decide the case based on the evidence. She is still in. So jury selection continues. Everybody expects to have a jury by Friday, and evidence will begin on Monday. We have a beautiful day in New York today. At least it stopped raining. Yay.
Okay, Lisa. All right, it's attorney Lisa home, you guys. Okay. And like I said, I like going to the attorneys because they definitely know what they're talking about. You know. Okay, let's see what else we got here. I think that's it for what we can see right now. I was trying to see if they can say anything different than what I did. At least I know how to say that word now. I mean, even though I just forgot, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I be breaking words down saying them. But he said it all together. So, of course, he's an attorney. So, of course, he's, you know, used to using that type of terminology. So, this is from a day ago. We don't need to hear that again. Okay, so, yeah, I think that's all of the updates that I can find that are current, you know, for today. You know, did we look at her? I think we didn't. I don't think so. I guess we can watch her real quick. I can't remember if we did not.
Good morning. I'm walking to court. It's day 3 of jury selection in Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial. The judge thinks they will select the jury today. They just need to qualify 10 more, and then prosecutors and Combs lawyers begin their strikes. Combs team will have 10. Prosecutors will have 6. Then we'll have the jury of 12 and a number of alternates. And opening statements will begin on Monday.
Okay, so they just basically going over the same thing.
It's day 3 of jury selection.
Again, they're gonna do their preemptory, and remember, I'm probably saying that wrong again. Strikes where they get chance to remove whomever for whatever reason, and we did look that word up, so we already knew what that meant. Just like the other word, adonish. I can't even remember because I have to look at it to be able to say it. But we know that's a warning. You know, he gave lawyer Mark G a warning because of his racial remarks about the 6-pack, you know, women and things like that. He just gave him a warning. That's it. Just don't say that. That was it. All right. Let's see what y'all said in this comment section over here. You just said, wow. All right. So y'all got anything else to say about this case? So what y'all think about Monday? Do y'all think that Sean Combs will be found innocent? Do y'all think he will prove that oh my God, these people with these stupid comments. Do y'all think, I forgot what I was going to say. Do y'all think that the information, the proof that Sean Combs have, do you think that it will get him out of jail? What do you guys think? Let's see what this person's saying right here. Someone 6'1" isn't 130 pounds. How the hell do you know? How do you know? Let me just say this to this person. Hold on, y'all. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on. God, these people come over like they doctors and shit and lawyers and everything else. You said, I love to see the racial makeup of the potential jurors. I thought they said, I thought Mark. I thought Mark said who the juror. I don't know. He did not, because they haven't picked the actual ones. Or did he? I don't know. I don't even remember. I thought somebody did talk about the jury, the potential jurors. But they're probably going to have black and white. That's what they probably will do. They make it even. Old, maybe some middle age. You just never know. But we will see, won't we? We will see. Okay, but the thing is, let's just hope everybody be fair and look at the actual evidence and not racist and things like that. Let's just hope that. And let's hope that Combs actually have information, you know, to prove that he is innocent. All right? Because if he cannot prove that, then you know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So let's just hope that, you know, you would think that he would have that, considering he did not take the plea deal. That would be very stupid. I said that before, you know. So I'm thinking that his attorneys definitely have a lot of information. We're talking about Sean Diddy Combs' day 3 jury selection. And thank you for tuning in. Okay. So again, this is going to be an interesting case, which really will kick off on Monday, especially when we start seeing the people get up on the stand testifying. There's probably going to be some shockers there. You know, I read that somebody, I read on someone's page, I didn't watch the video because I think it's BS, that Usher is being subpoenaed. Now, I don't know how true that is. Okay. I don't know how true that is, or why would they subpoena him, you know, because they don't have any proof of what people on YouTube are saying, because Usher never confessed to anything. So I don't know if this is true or not. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the rumor is on YouTube. I saw it somewhere. I can't remember exactly where on YouTube I saw it, but I certainly saw it. All right. So that's tripped out, huh? So what else y'all got to say about this trial before we get ready to get out of here? Let me just look up something real quick while y'all doing this. These people be leaving replies and saying the most stupidest shit, man. I mean, they be saying stuff that they don't fact check. You can be 6'1" and 130 pounds. I mean, even those gonna be super skinny or underweight. You know, you got people that are skinny. I don't know exactly how tall Carmelo is in the first place. I thought it says 6 feet. I'm not sure. But even if he does not weigh 130, he weighs around, I said he weighs around 140. That's exactly what I said, or either 150. But he certainly does not weigh 180 pounds. And that's on everything. Unless some people do, they are that skinny. It just depends. You know, some people just don't damn eat. I'm looking at a lot of people say they are 130, 135 pounds. You know, somebody can be like that. This lady don't went her ass stupid ass, or man don't went his ass up on Google and then typed it into the damn search bar without reading everything. And then he just assumed that no one could be 130 pounds. Hell, somebody can be 6'3" and be 130 pounds if they ass are not eating. That's stupid. They don't read everything. They just go and just look at one part, and then they do not scroll down. Now, I don't know if he's 6'1". I don't know if he actually weighed 130. He used to, but he certainly can't weigh more than 140, 150 pounds. He's not that big. You know, he's not that big at all. And I don't know why that matters anyway, because no matter how much he weighs, as long as he's under 200 pounds, he's still smaller than Austin Metcalf. All right, point blank. A lot of people are skinny as hell. You know, I'm looking at it right here. You can be that. A lot of people are 130 pounds at 60 feet 1, even though I think that this dude is probably about 140 or 150 pounds. I don't know, somewhere around that. When I look at him, I see 140, somewhere around those pounds, maybe 150. But I don't see 180, 190. Certainly don't see 200 pounds. I'm just saying, it really doesn't matter at all. That's crazy. Okay, so let's see what else. Okay, we back at admonish. All right. So anything else y'all want to add to Sean Diddy Combs situation going on? I think I covered everything, you guys. Let's see. I think, yeah. So remember, tomorrow there's nothing. It's going to be a dark court or whatever. I think that's what the term they use. It won't be open. So again, on Friday, I'll be back on Friday to discuss, everything that happened on Friday. And then on Monday, we'll talk about the actual trial, which is going to be a hot ass mess. Okay, y'all? I guess y'all finished with all the little comments over here, huh? And so tonight, guys, we're going to do a night owl live. And tonight we're going to be talking about Smokey Robinson. He also has allegations in 4 lawsuits for actual misconduct. I think rape. Let me look and make sure, because I don't want to say something that's not true. Hold on. So he has 4 lawsuits accusing him of sexual assaults. And I thought I saw one battery yesterday, a battery, and then something else. So it was 4 former housekeepers, okay? And something with their pay or something too, or with, their employment. We're not going to click on this shit right here, because I know this is what's the name? They love to do that. Anytime you see that stuff come up on your channel, not on your channel, but on your phone that says, click here to remove viruses, do not do it. Okay? So anyway, let's see here. So let's see what Smokey has been on the court for. Let's see. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Part of it. Yeah, sexual assault and what else? Yeah, battery, false imprisonment, and fostering a hostile work environment. And this is the one I'm going to keep, because the other one had a virus type thing attached to it. Let's see. Let's take the other one off of my phone, because when I clicked on that, it was telling me to do some weird stuff, which I knew not to do. I forgot which one it was. Let me go and see. It's not this one. It's the other one. So we're going to take the other one off. I'll take this one off right here. These people be having these damn links and stuff. Let me do this. I'll take that shit off there. So tonight we're going to be talking about that, okay? And we are going to be talking about the story that I have for you guys 2 days ago. Excuse me. About the man, the dad, who ran over a cop and unalived him because police officers shot his son in the back as his son was attempting to run, while they were, obviously trying to detain him. Okay, so the dad went off and ran over a police officer. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that tonight. And let's see what else. I'll take this off of here so I won't get it confused tonight. And we are going to be talking about this mom, you guys, who sold her daughter, 6 years old, to shaman for eyes and skin. That's crazy, you guys. That's so damn weird. Okay, and we talked about Russell Brand yesterday. We're not going to talk about him today unless some updated information comes up. And then we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about hold on, a young man, a dad who was shot by officers while holding his infant daughter. And let's see, it was something else. Charlemagne, what he said about the mom in the viral N-word video. Okay. And let's see, we already did the humanoid attack, so we're not going to cover that again. And we are going to talk about, hold on, let me take this off. There was something else. I'm trying to think of what it was. I can't remember. I think that may be it, though. Oh, the video showing California high school baseball team chanting racial slurs during a game. Oh, and this black boy called racial slur at school who gets expelled after parents complain. So yeah, those are the things that we will be talking about tonight. And if we have any more Diddy updates, which I doubt, or Carmelo updates, we'll touch on that. Like any crazy ass comments that I want to read out to you guys, I'll touch on that, or with that lady as well. Okay, so y'all make sure y'all come back tonight for the Night Owl Live. I'll try to get in here, let's just say 9:30, okay, Pacific Daylight Time. I may try to get in here earlier, this all depends. Okay, so 9:30, that's what I'll put up there. And y'all, again, Six Flags is closing for good. Six Flags, they're closing everything. And the closing date, let me make sure this is all of them or just one. Let's make sure. Yeah, they're closing for good. Six Flags America in Hurricane Harbor. No. See, that's why you got to read. Oh, man. You see what I'm saying? This is why you got to read all the way down. Because the one they are closing is not all of them. So let's take that back. They're closing the one located in Bowie, Maryland, I guess, in Prince George's County. They're going to close after the 2025 operating season. All right. And the final operating date will be Sunday, November the 2nd, 2025. And I'm so glad that I went down and read, because initially I just read the first part. That's what I'm saying. We got to read the entire article, because they'll put up here Six Flags America is closing for good. You know, what you call that? Clickbait. So you can just, come to it. But then like I did, I just read the top part and then go down. That's why I said we always got to go down. We always got to look further, because this is only one location that's closing for good. Okay. The other Six Flags of America in Hurricane Harbors are still open. Okay. And that's good news. And I was going to say all of them. Why? And I bet you a lot of people did that at first too. See, somebody said, I thought this was all Six Flags. They should be more clear. It's only for a specific part. Right. But that's why you have to read. So somebody said they are clear in the article. If you read it, it sucks. Most people read headlines and jump to conclusion. And she is right. We got to read more. I'm even guilty of it, because I did the same thing and told you guys that all Six Flags were closing. And this is like my second time. So that's why you have to go ahead and read the entire article so you can know for sure. And so that was just a prime example that you need to read everything. It's like that person saying a 6'1" person can't be 130 pounds. They shouldn't be, because then they're underweight, but they can be. It's not impossible. You know what I'm saying? But I do think Carmelo probably weighed between 140 and 150. I'm not sure, because I'm not him, and I definitely haven't taken his weight and stuff. It really doesn't matter anyway. They're all boys. For me, it doesn't matter. Equal. They're all boys. It's not like a girl and boys or something like that. Okay. So otherwise, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me stop sharing. Thank you to Jermaine for being here, like always, showing support. Thank you to Dan Patrick for stopping by, checking us out. Thanks to Most Hated Bronze for being here, showing support. I appreciate you too. Thank you to, I think that's it. I think that was everybody over here that came in here. Also, thanks to everybody in the bushes and everybody who watches this in the replay. All right. And y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed this content. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe below. I wish StreamYard would do this on their own. And also hit the bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. All right, guys, make sure you do all of that. And thank you so, so much for tuning in. All right. And don't forget, if you want to show additional support for this channel, you can do a super sticker, super chat, a membership for $4.99, or you can do a Cash App donation at $Shades2. All donations are used to pay for expenses on this channel. All right. All right. So y'all have a blessed remaining Wednesday, and I'll see you guys later on tonight. Check out all my other videos, my YouTube shorts, my Dollar Tree hauls, my Country Rain reaction videos. And I haven't done a house thing in a while, but I'll probably do one maybe today, but it won't be up today. And I'll put it up over the weekend sometime. All right. So other than that, y'all, peace out. Have a good day. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Wait, let me just tell y'all this quick thing real quick that came up on my phone. So they just put on my phone, they just came out with another article saying that Diddy mouthed out, he, I guess he didn't say it out loud, but you can, they can understand what he's saying. He said, "How are you?" to a pregnant Fox 5 New York reporter. Okay. I just want to let you guys know this. I mean, I don't know, maybe this is the video right here. Let's see before we leave.
Introducing Gemini.
Let's see. He may have said it out loud. I don't know. Let's see. Before we leave. It's an ad or so I'm waiting for it to go off.
Jury selection will be wrapping up today in the federal sex trafficking trial.
So let's see.
Let's get to Fox 5's Michelle Ross. She's live in Northern Manhattan with the very latest from the courtroom. By Michelle.
Hi there, Antoine. Out of all the court cases I've covered over the years, I have to say that Diddy remains to be the most engaged defendant.
So let's see.
He greets every single person on his defense team either by handshake or a hug, and then he'll scan the gallery part of the courtroom to see if he recognizes anyone. And if he does, that's when he'll put his hand on his heart and kind of nod in their direction, or put his hands together and also nod in their direction. Now, despite the serious charges against him, we can still see his charismatic personality in the courtroom, the same personality that we saw over the last 2 decades in the limelight. And an example of that is from this morning, when we all had to get up before the jury walked in. Now, I am 7 months pregnant. I'm visibly pregnant. And when I stood up, Diddy and I were in a clear view of each other, and he mouthed to me, "How are you?" So that's just another example of how observant he's been throughout the trial so far, throughout jury selection so far. Now, day 3, we are in.
Okay, we can stop this now. Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all, I just wanted to show you, let y'all hear that, because that was something that was new that came up on my phone, that he mouthed off to the lady, the newscaster, or to the reporter, because she's pregnant. "How are you?" I wonder, did she say anything back? Did she nod her head back or what? Okay, but anyway, it is what it is. I guess he's doing that to make an impression on the people in the courtroom. Okay, smart move. All right, see y'all later. Peace out. One more thing, you guys. And so, like every time I get ready to try to end this video, here's something new that comes up on my phone. So I was telling you guys about victim number 3. Okay, so in court today, they were still, in the jury selection court thing, prosecutors were still telling the judge they haven't been able to locate this unidentified person or get through to their attorney. And I wonder why. They did say that the victim did not live close to New York City, and try as they might, they are worried about getting her to show up in person. Okay, so I don't know what to think of this, guys. I just don't. They may not be able to get in contact with that number 3 victim. And I think that's the victim who says she has some type of medical procedure. Y'all think somebody got to her? I don't know. You just never know. All right, so I had to tell you guys that. Let me make sure there's nothing else here before I leave. Damn. I think that's it for real this time. Goodness. This is crazy, man. Okay, we got to read this for fucking Friday. But anyway, y'all. Okay, I'm gone this time. All right, peace out.